Today's review is on Nicktoons Racing, a crossover go-kart racing game that was released for 5 different platforms. In 2000 for Microsoft Windows and Game Boy Color, 2001 for PlayStation, 2002 for Game Boy Advance, and in 2003 for the arcade. On the cover of Nicktoons Racing, we have Tommy, Eliza, CatDog, Arnold, and SpongeBob. And in the back of Nicktoons Racing, when it comes to the PC and PlayStation, you'll see Ickis, Stimpy, Patrick, Norbert and Daggett, Helga, Darwin, and Angelica. The game features characters from 8 of Nickelodeon Nicktoons shows, and those shows are SpongeBob SquarePants, I Real Monsters, The Wild Thornberrys, CatDog, The Ren and Stimpy Show, The Angry Beavers, Hey Arnold, and Rugrats. The character by the name of the Mystery Rider invited all of the characters in the game to compete in a Grand Prix for the top prize, the Krusty Krab Big Bun Award, which resembles Mr. Krabs. The trophy is Mr. Krabs and a year's supply of Krabby Patties. That's a lot of Krabby Patties, and there's no way the winner is going to eat all of it by his or herself. The winner might as well give away some of those patties and put some of the patties in containers to go into the refrigerator when he or she gets home. There are 15 characters in the game. That's when including CatDog, Norbert and Daggett, and the Mystery Rider individually. I'll talk about the Mystery Rider eventually. Besides the Mystery Rider, the game features the Pickles cousins, Tommy, Angelica, Rugrats, Arnold and Helga of Hey Arnold, Eliza and Darwin of the Wild Thornberrys, CatDog, the Beaver Brothers, Norbert and Daggett of the Angry Beavers, SpongeBob and Patrick of SpongeBob, Ickis of I Real Monsters, and Stimpy of Ren and Stimpy. When Nicktoons Racing came out, SpongeBob and Patrick were featured on this game. This was when SpongeBob was new and it was just getting started. SpongeBob was just starting to hit popularity, and it did, but it was really starting to quickly gain even more popularity and a bigger fan base when this game came out. While Rugrats was still best thing since sliced bread for Nickelodeon, still at that point. Rugrats were still winning best cartoon until SpongeBob took over. Since 2003, I believe. It's still going ever since. In the Game Boy Color Nicktoons Racing game, Norbert and Daggett's names are swapped. You'll have Norbert, and underneath the image of Norbert is Daggett's name, and the same with the image of Daggett. Underneath the image of him is Norbert's name. Why did their names get swapped? I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense. Were the people behind the Game Boy Color version high or something? I don't know, but this is unacceptable. And they drive in separate carts, just like Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup in the Cartoon Network Racing Nintendo DS version. They are driving separately and not together. And it is also not a good look to see Norbert and Daggett driving separately. Okay, they're brothers. They're the Beaver Brothers. Wherever they go, they stick together. So seeing them separately in the Nicktoons Racing Game Boy Color version is just weird, and it's not right. Let's take a look at the carts that each character drives in. Tommy obviously drives in his Reptar wagon that he was driving in since the Rugrats movie. Angelica in her pink Cynthia car. Arnold in a cardboard soapbox cart with eyes and teeth. Ooh, he looks angry. Grrr. I'm surprised he doesn't ride in the Mauve Avenger from the Hey Arnold Grand Prix episode. Helga also rides in a cardboard soapbox cart, but it's pink. I'm surprised she doesn't ride in the go-kart she drove in the same episode like Arnold. Eliza's cart is the miniature version of her family's Humvee, which is cool and makes sense since she always travels around the world in the Humvee with her family. Darwin is riding a jungle jeep. CatDog riding their minivan. And as you can see, the hat, goggles, scarf, and gloves that Cat is wearing, and the hat with the goggles Dog is wearing, is from the CatDog episode where they go after Fred the Flying Fish. Cat is the driver and Dog is the co-driver. Norbert and Daggett are obviously riding a log since they are beavers. Norbert is the driver and Daggett is the co-driver. Although in the back of the Nicktoons Racing game, you'll see Norbert as the co-driver and Daggett's driving, which is weird. And also in this image of Nicktoons Racing for Game Boy Color, that's the same image of Norbert in the back seat while Daggett's the driver. Well, anyways, in the game, Dog and Daggett will sit back and relax and will take care of the items for their brothers Cat and Norbert. SpongeBob's cart is a replica of his own pineapple, which is pretty sweet. Patrick is riding a boat since he has his own boating license, which SpongeBob will never get, so it makes sense that he has a cart that resembles his own pineapple. Icky's cart is a beetle-shaped car. I mean, at first I thought it was either a beetle or a roach, but it's a beetle. Figures since Ickis loves to eat bugs and trash at the garbage dump that is his home. And Stimpy is riding his own litter box filled with cat litter that is so Stimpy. And then there is the race announcer by the name of Chris JoJo, who shares a striking resemblance to the salesman from the Ren and Stimpy show, but with a different color scheme. Oh, how I remember the Nicktoons racing commercial like it was yesterday.
Welcome to Nicktoons Racing!
It's Cat Dog by a Whisker!
With the Rugrats babies!
Are making those beavers awful angry!
But SpongeBob's making his move and oh, he's soaking up sidewalks!
With the new Nicktoons Racing game!
You can race all your favorite Nicktoons characters!
Go head to head!
Or team up relay style!
With 5 wild ways to race!
You'll laugh all the way to the finish line!
Nicktoons Racing!
For PC CD-ROM Windows 95 and 98!
Rated E!
For everyone! We put the car in cartoon!
We have the 3 cups mode. Each of the 3 cups have 4 tracks. The tracks for Cup 1 are Reptar Raceway, Damned Pretty, Rancid Raceway, and Bikini Bottom Blowout. Once Cup 1 is finished, Cup 2 is unlocked. The tracks for Cup 2 are Race Madness, Beaver Fever, Nearbird Rally, and Safari Speedway. Once Cup 2 is finished, Cup 3 is unlocked. Cup 3 tracks are Monster Mania, Pickles Parkway, Gritty City Circuit, and Bongo Bang Up. Oh, by the way, the points are rewarded after each race in the following fashion. You come in first place, you get 10 points. Second place, 7 points. Third place, 5 points. Fourth place, 3 points. Fifth place, 1 point. And sixth place, 0. Nada. You get nothing. That's how it works. Once Cup 3 is completed, the Mystery Rider will be unlocked as a playable character, along with the bonus mini-games. And now it's time to reveal the Mystery Rider. Or should I say, the Mystery Rider. Ooh. Dramatic music, please.
Well, the Mystery Rider was ratchet all along. Still, he didn't get his hands on Mr. Krabs' secret formula.
Well, this stinks.
Yep, it's Plankton. I mean, it's no surprise that he would be the Mystery Rider since he was trying to get a hold of the Krabby Patty secret formula. After that, the winner drives off into the sunset and one of the Krabby Patties fell on the ground. No one better not let Plankton get his hands on it. Then the credits roll in and that's it. Besides the 1 players mode, there is the 2 players mode for those who have friends. If you don't have friends, well, I don't know what else to tell you, but you can still have fun regardless. There are also the difficulty levels, easy, medium, and hard. The time trial mode is where characters can test their speed abilities on each unlocked tracks. After finishing lap 1, a ghost racer of the character you are controlling will appear and perform the lap as the player did on the previous lap. Ooh, ghost racer of a character you are controlling. Ooh, that's eerie. The relay race mode is an actual original and fun idea where you can choose 3 characters in a 3-lap relay, going against 3 other characters, so the third character from team 1 or 2 finishes first place, the team wins. So the relay mode is quite fun. Oh, and get this, if the player hits their next racer directly, they get an initial speed boost for the next lap when it comes to relay race mode. The Race for Fun mode is where characters will be rewarded with trophies as long as you come in first place. Even if you lose one race, the trophies will reset and you must start from scratch, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, come on. I mean, if I lose, but that doesn't mean the trophy should reset. You win all kinds of trophies like a huge sombrero, a rocket, a pair of Snow's glasses, a wheel of cheese, and many more. Then there are the bonus levels for single player. Big City Cleanup, where the character must find and collect 60 of the power-up presents seen in the main racing gameplay. And for multiplayer, Beach soccer, where two characters push a beach ball around a field attempting to score more goals than the other in a timed match. This comes from the SpongeBob SquarePants universe, while Big City Cleanup comes from the Hey Arnold universe. Oh, and by the way, the cup modes, you have to make sure that you don't come in 4th, 5th, or 6th, even if you lose in the first track, because they will have you restart. And it might lead to a point where you have to start all over. Yeah, so that's how that works. It's ridiculous. The boost bar. You need to collect 10 speed burst tokens. The more tokens you collect, the faster you can go. Blue tokens will give you 1 burst. Red tokens give you 5. Power sliding allows you to take tight turns with speed. Then we have the power-ups. They will appear when collecting gift boxes. Here are the power-ups. The speed burst token. Collect these tokens to increase the boost bar at the top of the screen. The bubble and jellyfish from SpongeBob. The bubble will capture your opponents and lift them in the air until the bubble pops. The jellyfish will shock opponents, disabling them for a short time. Ickis' trash can from Our Real Monsters. The trash can will be dropped behind the racer. The racers who hit the trash can will flip up and cover their heads, making the steering heavier, which is annoying. I mean, it feels so slow as molasses. Darwin's coconut launcher from the Wild Thornberries. The coconuts will roll forward and hit the opponents. The Wild Thornberries Total Magic, also from the Wild Thornberries, allows a racer to take the opponent's power up before they use it. There's also the Wild Thornberries camera flash that will blind the opponents. Others will see the screen white out for a short while, so they will not be able to see the track. Yeah, make sure hopefully you don't run into anything. I mean, that flash is bright as hell. Stimpy's Gritty Litter from the Ren and Stimpy Show. A classic. It is dropped behind the racer. Racers driving through it will be spun out of control, recovering after a short while. The Angry Beaver's Fish Egg is an egg that protects the racer and can hit their opponents when getting closer to them. Stump. Yeah, Norbert's friend of the Angry Beavers. Yeah, which Norbert thinks he's alive. Yeah, he's pretty much similar to Plank of Ed, Edd n Eddy. Yeah, well, you'll be stumped, no pun intended, by this tree stump when he hits the opponent's heads, causing them to spin out of control. And I think it's weird that inside the Nicktoons Racing manual booklet, he's known as Stumpy. And it'll even say, like, it's Stumpy, not Stimpy, big difference. I'm like, I thought his name was Stump. Why do they call him Stumpy? I don't know, so weird. The Angry Beaver's time machine will wrap the racer in front of the opponents in front of you. I think that's pretty cool that you use a time machine to fast forward you. You'll be lucky enough to be ahead of everybody else, where you may come in 3rd, 2nd, or even 1st. The classic green slime can be dropped behind the racer. Anyone colliding with it will be bounced back and forth. The Powdered Toast Man crouton launcher from the Ren and Stimpy Show. Croutons are launched in an arc though the air toward your opponents. Yeah, it'll definitely suck if you run into it and then you spin around and then you might have to end up turning around because you end up going the wrong way. Yeah, I hate that freaking Powdered Toast Man crouton launcher. When one lands, it disables anything within a large area. Let's not forget that talcum baby powder or Rugrats as well. Now, I have some problems with this game. First off, if you come in 4th, 5th, or 6th in the cups mode, you will end up redoing it. And if you continue coming in 4th, 5th, or 6th, you will be disqualified and you will have to do it all over again, which I think is ridiculous. There's also the lack of tracks. I mean, it sucks that there are only 12 tracks. Rugrats, the Wild Thornberries, Cat Dog, and the Angry Beavers each have 2 themed tracks, while Hey Arnold, SpongeBob, Our Real Monsters, and Ren and Stimpy only have 1. The bonus levels should have been actual tracks, but they needed bonus levels. Big City Cleanup and Beach Soccer would have been actual great tracks. It would have been nice to have another SpongeBob track, but one where the characters are racing at night in Bikini Bottom. Also, there are bad glitches where the characters will end up getting stuck, or a point where some of the characters' heads look like it's missing. Heck, I remember like a couple times I would like see Eliza like in front of me. It looked like she has her arms spread out like she's spreading like a bird while she's driving. I think that's so funny. I'm like, why is Eliza spreading her arms like his wings? She thinks she can fly like an eagle, like Seal. Eliza believes she can fly like R. Kelly. Next thing is when the characters come in 4th, 5th, and 6th, even in 2nd and 3rd, they will cry, except for Norbert and Daggett. and Plankton, since he is in a sleek black car. So we don't know if Plankton is crying or not. Maybe he is. I mean, I remember Plankton cried in that episode where he pretended to be friends with SpongeBob, you know, the whole FUN fun thing. And there's been other times where Plankton cried. So, yeah. But yeah, Norbert and Daggett don't cry, but I could have sworn there's been some episodes where they actually cried in the Angry Beavers, but they don't cry in Nicktoons Racing when they lose. See, it's also weird seeing the racers cry, but you don't see actual tears. It's also weird seeing some of them crying while smiling. The people behind Nicktoons Racing could have worked on the facial expressions to have the characters frown when losing and have tears shown when crying. Arnold has never cried in Hey Arnold except in the TV movie. I don't understand why the characters cry when coming in second and third place. Like, I understand when finishing fourth, fifth, and sixth, but coming in second and third is good. When the racers don't come in first place, you'll hear this. Seriously, was the game trying to tell us that always coming first place is a good thing? You can't always come in first place now. That sound should only be played when coming in fourth, fifth, and sixth. It makes more sense while the racers should be happy when coming in second and third, just like when they come in first place. When the characters in Cartoon Network Racing come in second and third, the characters will not be sad or mad. But when coming in fourth, fifth, and sixth, they will not be happy. Then there are the voice audio clips. All the characters have voice clips that comes from episodes of all 8 shows. Angelica crying from the episode Psycho Angelica, when some pizza fall on her head, when Tommy warned her to be careful, when she thought she was actually psychic. When she called herself Psycho. I mean, the Rugrats, the babies, Angelica, that's how they wrote. They messed up words. And then Helga saying, no contest. That's from Olga Comes Home. And then SpongeBob saying, step on your right foot, don't forget it. We all know that's from Bubble Stand. SpongeBob saying, go SpongeBob. That's from Help Wanted. In Ripped Pants, when he's laughing, he goes, nah, nah. When he's laughing with Sandy, yeah, that's from Culture Shock. Oh, and then when he does the, I know. We all know that's from the episode where Squidward has that talent show. So yeah, with Patrick, where he's laughing, that's from Bubble Stand. Or Sandy's Rocket, where he laughs like, when they're carrying Sandy into the rocket, him and SpongeBob, when they mistaken her as an alien. And then the Hall Monitor episode, where he goes, when he's terrified of the poster of SpongeBob being the maniac. And then lastly, when he says, Patrick saved! We all know that's from Nature Pants. So those are examples. But it would have been cooler if E.G. Daily, Cheryl Chase, Spencer Klein, Katie Bartlett, Lacey Chabert, Tom Kane, Jim Cummings, Tom Kenny, Nick Bakay, Richard Horvitz, Bill Fagerbakke, Charlie Adler, Billy West, and Doug Lawrence reprised their roles for the game. But I guess they went with the audio clips because of the money, cha-ching, cha-ching, ba-blang, ba-blang. You know, I wish they wouldn't worry about money so much. It's a freaking go-kart racing game, okay? You're putting your heart and soul into it for fun. Lastly, the lack of unlocking characters. Besides unlocking Plankton, it sucks that there are no more characters to unlock, which you would expect when it comes to racing games. Like I said, Phil and Lil, Sid, Harold, Oblina, Ren, Doug, and Otto were supposed to be on the game, but they were all scrapped. The game would have been even better, and would motivate you to even play the game even more if more characters and tracks were added. Characters could have been unlocked after completing the Cups mode and when playing the Race for Fun mode, besides winning prizes. The game could have had a tournament mode for unlockable tracks to unlock more characters. And also, why not have Chucky on the game as well, and Gerald? Once again, could we have some black characters on a go-kart racing game, please? Why they act as if black characters don't want to do go-kart racing? Jeez, OP. Why not have Crumb of Our Real Monsters? Heck, a lot of people on the internet didn't understand why Rocco wasn't on the game. Yeah, I'm surprised Rocco is on the game. You had Ickis and Stimpy on the game, but you don't have Rocco on the game? Or besides Rocco, you could have added Heifer too. I mean, a lot of people were not happy at all that Rocco was not on this game, especially ING. While the PlayStation version was not reviewed on ING, it received mixed to positive reviews elsewhere. The Game Boy Color version received 3 out of 10, and the Game Boy Advance edition received an 8 out of 10. ING also mentioned that Nicktoons Racing is a Mario Kart wannabe. I mean, they'll say the same thing about go-kart racing games that they think is similar to Mario Kart. I understand you want originality in your go-kart racing games. I'm all for it. I'm all for originality. But hey, just because it's similar to Mario Kart doesn't mean you gotta be so harsh on it. Did you ever think that they obviously are inspired by it? ING is so hurt that Rocco's not on the game that ING disrespected Eliza and that Rocco should have been her replacement. Like this one part where it says, come on, surely they could have left out that butt-ugly girl from the Wild Thornberries to give the Hawaiian shirted wallaby a chance at the cup. Whoa, that was a bit harsh to say about Eliza. I mean, I know that the person is upset about Rocco not being on the game, but I mean, I get it, but did you have to take your anger out on Eliza by judging her appearance? Now, some may say Eliza's not a beautiful girl due to her having big teeth and wearing braces, and she has big teeth like her father, Nigel, and her wearing glasses. But I thought Eliza was a cute girl. She had the freckles and the red hair with pigtails. But you're going to judge her because you heard that Rocco's not on the game. You should have left out Eliza out of this. Don't take out Eliza. So overall, this has been my review on Nicktoons Racing. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's a good game, but due to the glitches and the lack of not having more tracks and more characters being unlocked, that's pretty much the reasons why I would give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, having Stimpy as a playable character on Nicktoons Racing, but not Ren, it just doesn't feel right. Like, Ren and Stimpy were always together. They was always be each other's side by side. That's like Cartoon Network Racing having Cow from Cow and Chicken in the game, but there's no chicken. Now, some of you are probably wondering, why is SpongeBob and Patrick capable of racing in Nicktoons Racing when they're sea creatures and they suffer when not having any water? Good question. I don't know. Seems like it has to do with the whole cartoon logic where we're not supposed to understand why they're still capable of racing without water. I don't know. I guess it's something we weren't supposed to figure out. I mean, it's the whole cartoon logic. But at least in Nicktoons Racing, they're capable of racing and, you know, the sun doesn't bother them. Maybe in certain areas, they're capable of dealing with the sun. I mean, heck, after you win the third and final cup of the Cups mode, the audience are the fish residents from SpongeBob. So anyways, for those who have played Nicktoons Racing, tell me your thoughts on the game. Do you enjoy it? Do you wish more characters could have been on the game and more tracks on the game? And what would you rate the game? Cartoon Network Racing is better than Nicktoons Racing. I'll also say Crash Team Racing is better, and Looney Tunes Racing is still a good game, regardless.
Visually, I think the models all look pretty good. Ooh, yeah. Except for Eliza, she definitely drew the short straw for this game.
She doesn't look so good in her PlayStation version. I had to agree on this YouTuber that did a review on Nicktoons Racing.
The character models used in this game also don't look too bad for the most part and are quite expressive and animated. Most of them, at least.
Okay, this reminds me of the same guy, the one reviewer that did a review on Cartoon Network Racing saying that IR Baboon looked the best in his 3D model in Cartoon Network Racing. Now this guy, the same guy, is saying the same thing about Eliza. Well, crap, she looked better in her PlayStation model. I don't think she looked bad in her PC model. I mean, she does look like herself, like in the actual show. Whatever. And if you have never played Nicktoons Racing before, you can check it out. You can order it online, eBay, Amazon, or whatever. Your choice, either PC, PlayStation, or Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, or the arcade, whatever. It's your choice. Alright, that's it. See ya.